What's going on, everybody? Day 23. We're going to load everything up. And today we're going to be talking about why you must understand your driving force. I will be talking about what that is and why it's important today. So let's start off with understanding what is your driving force. Okay. Your driving force is a thing that if you were stuck, okay, let's say that you crashed, you got dropped off, however you arrived there, you ended up in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the desert. And as you were falling down, you looked to the left, to the right, forward, backwards, up and down. You didn't see any buildings. You didn't see any cities. You didn't see anything near you, but you're getting dropped off in the middle of nowhere. You have one bottle of water. So, whatever decision you make is life or death. So, what happens is when you think about getting dropped off in the middle of nowhere, and you don't know how you're going to survive. You don't know how you're going to make it. All of the fear, all of the doubt, all of the what am I going to do? Am I going to die here? All of those negative thoughts and emotions are going to drown you. And what causes somebody not to break down right there and just completely give up? See, when people think about success, people think that success means something outside of them. They think that it's some type of um, monetary goal. Sometimes people think it's a physical goal. Sometimes people think that it's these things that they use as clues of success. The car that they drive, the house that they live in, with just the situation that they're in. They think that that external thing is the thing that will validate them finally in their life. But let me ask you a question just to put into perspective, because I was literally talking to one of my clients today about this. If you were in the middle of that desert and you didn't know how you were going to survive, you didn't know if you were going to live, would your house be the thing you're thinking about potentially as you may die today? Are you like, damn, I got to get back to that house? Or is it, damn, I got to get back to my BMW. I got to get back to my Benz. I got to get back to my Ferrari. I got to get back to my Lambo. Are you thinking that? Is that what's gonna drive you to live? Is it, "Oh, I need to, get back to my massive closet with all of my designer shit." Is that what you're thinking about when you're in the middle of the desert about to die? Or are you like, "Oh, damn, I gotta get back to my, like, cozy little office. I gotta get back to my compound. I gotta back to my stuff." Is that what makes you want to live when you're dropped off in the middle of nowhere? No. Nobody's thinking about that. But for some reason, when people are in the real world, that's everything that they validate themselves with. It's like, "Oh, if I have the stuff, then I'm validated. If I have the stuff, if I have the success, if I have the prestige, if people look up to me, then I've done it. I've made it." But when it's life and death, if you don't have any of those things, you're not worried about those things. So what actually will drive you to want to live? It's something deeper. It's inside of you. It's not outside of you. And it can be trying to get back to your family. It could be you wanting to survive because you didn't live your life just to arrive at this destination. There's something internally that calls you to want to survive. That's the thing that is what's called your driving force. That's the thing that's going to drive you to the levels that you want to reach in your life. It's not the things. But people just validate with things because it makes them feel like they've made it to a level, but it's just that's not what happens. If you can't find happiness with who you are and where you are in life right now with whatever you got, there's no amount of success, there's no amount of things that will ever fill that void. Why do you guys think that some of the most successful people in the world end up taking their own lives after all of it, after finally reaching a level that most people will never reach? Because they're unhappy. They've gotten to that level and they're unhappy. So, what was the point of all of it? What was the point of all the success just for you to off yourself? Doesn't make any sense. So, what everybody's problem is they don't actually understand what's gonna drive them to even get there, and what happens is they start giving up on themselves, they start giving up on their mission, they start giving up and showing up for themselves because those very things that if you were dropped in the middle of nowhere, wouldn't drive you to want to live. In the real world, if you use those same things as motivation, that motivation does not last. that motivation to use those things as anchors, they don't last. You're going to run out of that fuel real quick, and then you're going to get hit in the face with reality. And that's the shit that you got to work through. That's what you got to figure out is worth getting through. So what would make you walk through the desert with a bottle of water, not knowing if the direction that you're taking is even the right direction? What are the things? Who are the people? What are the situations that would cause you to walk through 1,000 miles of glass? That's a lot of pain you have to get through to survive. That's a lot of pain you have to get through to win, to live. So what is it for you? If you start really digging into yourself, you're going to find that it's not the external shit. It's not you finally getting to a status. It's not you getting the promotion. It's not you having the business. It's not you having the things. It's none of that. It's probably who you are to yourself. It's probably your kids, who you are to your kids that wants to get back to your kids. It's probably your family that you want to get back to. It's probably them every time you want to give up, every time you feel challenged, any of that stuff. It's probably something else or somebody else that you want to live for. And when you realize that this is what purpose is not having to do with us and fulfilling what we want in life. Purpose is finding the people that we were meant to serve on this planet. Who are we designed to serve? That's purpose. When you realize your driving force, you realize your purpose. You realize the people, the things that you're doing this for, the mission that you need to accomplish with your one life you have to live. So what happens is when people are trying to build their businesses and they start losing all of that energy, that drive, that determination, they had a really strong start, but they weren't able to sustain it. It's because they started validating too much with the business. They started validating too much with the results that they wanted versus the process of becoming, knowing who they were creating, who they were being for the very people they said they want to serve. And, a lot of the times, people don't really think that it's inner work that's required to get to the next level, but that's always what it is. It's always you getting in the way of you. It's you thinking that it's something else. It's kind of like if you got dropped in that desert and you're like, "Well, damn, why isn't anybody looking for me? Well, damn, like where's the planes? Where's the helicopter? Where's like everybody that's supposed to come save me?" And then if you start blaming the world for not coming to save you, it's the same thing with like trying to build your life, trying to build your business, trying to take your things to the next level, and then expecting that somebody else is going to do the work. Somebody else is going to arrive and save you. It's not how it works. You have to find that in yourself. If shit's not going your way, you have to find it in yourself. If you're not living the life that you want to live, the only person that can give you that life is you by putting in the work to earn it. If your family is in shambles right now because you've been prioritizing other things than your home and your household, it's only you that can now choose to focus on the family that's about to shatter. Nobody else is going to save your family. It's not anybody else's responsibility. It's your responsibility. If your business is not growing in the speed that you want it to, or it's taking up like a lot of your time and like you have no time for your kids, no time for your wife, no time for family, no time to do the thing that you actually want, it's only you that can change it. There's nobody going to come in and just start randomly fixing up your business or your life. Some of you guys have really successful businesses and you have like the shittiest personal life because you're letting go of control. You're like expecting that at some point it's all just going to resolve itself, but it's not. And the only way you're going to get to the position where like you're going to be able to cut the noise and stop worrying about the little things that don't matter is for you to get back to the state where like you simplify everything, you strip yourself of all of the things that you are right now um what is the word I'm looking for? You're validating with, and you go back to like why the fuck you showed up in the first place. Everything's going to feel so much more simple. Everything's going to feel so much more calm. You're not going to freak the fuck out on everything that happens, good, bad, or ugly. You're going to realize that this whole game you've been playing wrong because you've been looking for something else versus looking within and saying, well, why would I show up? Why would I get through the hard times? Why would I push now, even though I've been pushing my entire life just to push even harder? Like, how much more do I have to give life universe, God? How much more? When you start asking yourself those questions, the only thing that's going to get you to get yourself off the ground, dust yourself off, and just start taking those steps in any direction is for you to really know why you would do that. Why would you be willing to go through it again? Why would you be willing to, after down, after beat down, after beat down, just like I was talking about you guys being forged, right? You go through the flame, you fucking get hammered on the anvil, and you get dunked in cold ass water for you to get forged. Why would you be willing to go through that over and over and over and over again in your life? It's the people that can understand why, those are the people that end up enduring. Those are the people that are able to get through the times because they don't give up. It's the people that don't understand their driving force that when things get hard, whether it's for a week, a month, or a year, they give up and become a statistic because they didn't understand why they should even hold on. It's like the people that give up in the middle of nowhere. They're dropped off in the middle of nowhere and then they give up and die because they don't have a reason to live. They don't know why they want to live. You guys ever hear when you ever hear like cancer survivor stories? And, when they do documentaries on people that survive cancer, those people always end up saying, "One of the things that really got me through this was believing that I was gonna get through this because I wanted to stick around longer for my kids, for my family, for these other people." And that caused them to have a different type of energy with how they were approaching the situation. Google it. It's like literally every hero journey of like a cancer survivor that I've heard so far, and I mean, I haven't heard all of them, but a lot of them has to do with they found their driving force. And that driving force ended up helping them see things from a different perspective. Hold on a little bit longer. You guys ever hear of those other stories where people are like in the hospital and they're in like a coma or some crazy shit's happening? And for some reason, there was a miracle where they like weren't supposed to live and then they lived. And then they come back and they're like, I was just holding on because I knew I had to get back to you. What is that? You think that people are just like randomly saying that? Like there's a pattern of people who say these things and they're just randomly saying it? No. There's something deeper that drives all of us. There's a reason why all of us wake up every morning. There's a purpose. But so many people get detached from their purpose. They get detached from that driving force, that thing, and that's what causes them not to like show up. I don't think anybody's ever told me that that's how this shit works. Nobody. I've never coming up as a kid, parents never taught me this shit. I didn't have really mentors until I joined the Marine Corps. Nobody really tells you this stuff until you start finding yourself and you're just like, "Oh, it's deeper than this shit." It's deeper than just showing up to hustle every day. Like, again, the hustle and the grind, like, that's all status again. It's like you wear that as like a badge of honor. "Ooh, I hustled." But that only gets you so far. The act of hustling does not motivate you if you don't make it mean something. Everything that you guys do on a daily basis has to mean something. Because if it doesn't mean anything, you'll give up on it. That's like most people's dreams, right? So everybody dreams of like having something. Like remember a couple of trainings ago, I was talking about that movie where the dude got denied 10 years before he became an astronaut. There was a reason, there was a driving force. Austin, what's up, bro? There's a driving force for that dude to like stick around for 10 years, getting denied after denial after denial, year after year. This wasn't like every week. This was like over 10 years. 10 years of this guy's life was dedicated to the cause. But why? What caused them to want to succeed? Well, because as a kid, he drew the stars, he drew the ship, and he told himself he was going to do it. And so that was a word to himself he wanted to uphold. But imagine if he didn't have that. Imagine if he didn't have the very things. Oh, no, don't do that. Give me this. Oh, kids, man. Imagine if he didn't have the very thing. So silly. Imagine if he didn't have the very thing that would keep him driving there. If he didn't have that internal voice saying, "Bro, you have to do this. Bro, you have to make it. You have to try time after time after time. You just have to try." Why do people never really join these types of lives? I don't know, bro. No idea. No idea. But, they catch the replays or whatever. It's here for the people that want to stay plugged in. And I want you guys to remember like Those stories, those heroes' journeys are, like, really awesome because it shows us that there is no difference from that dude that spent 10 years to become an astronaut. There's no difference between that guy and you guys. There's no difference between that guy and me. We're all the same. The only difference is the people that achieve what they want in life are the people that understand their driving force. It's the people that understand why they're willing to show up. Why would you take hit after hit, year after year after year? That doesn't make any sense because it means something. It's like this identity that we start carrying that, like, we have to. It's like our mission now. It's like we're designed to do this thing. He was designed to be an astronaut, so he did it. What are you guys designed to do? What would make you walk through 1,000 miles of glass? What would make you suffer for years where you just take the fucking beating? What is the reason why you would take that beating over and over and over again without fail? That's the thing that everybody needs to find for themselves. Because man, when you don't have that, when you don't actually have the very thing that makes you want to show up, life is pointless. Literally, it's called purpose for a reason. If you don't have it, there's no purpose of life. You feel so fucking detached emotionally, mentally, spiritually from the whole human experience because you don't even know why you're experiencing it. You don't even know the reason why you would go through the turbulence. Can you imagine going through those 10 years and not knowing why you're going like year after year just getting rejected? And you're just like, why am I even submitting this application knowing damn well NASA is going to reject it? Imagine how many years that dude would have actually lasted. Maybe two. Shit, even after one and he went back, that's still a win. Most people wouldn't. So you guys got to remember that like there's a whole thing. There's a whole thing and it's much deeper than just hustling. It's much deeper than just this like external thing that everybody thinks. All this validation that everybody seeks, but that's not even it. I think people have like defined success based on things more than how happy somebody is, how good somebody is internally. If they're actually on purpose, if they're on the right road, if they're on the right track, if they're actually doing the damn things that they know they should be doing, if they're challenging themselves to a level. Oh, here's the answer. The reason why people aren't joining us on these lives on Instagram is because this streaming thing keeps booting off Instagram. There you go. That's what it is. Oh well, gotta do what you gotta do. But anyway, guys, here's the exercise for today. So there's only two ways you can do this exercise. You can do it right or you can do it wrong. And when you start digging, okay, you start digging. It's very important that when you start digging into yourself, you don't take what's called lateral moves. Lateral moves are if I ask you why you would want to live, and you say, because of my family. And then I ask you why you want to live for your family, and you say, because I want to give them stuff. That's a lateral move because stuff doesn't equate to something deeper. You know what I mean? Like stuff is external. So answering a deeper question with an external answer is what's called a lateral move. So what you guys want to do is make sure you dig down, you dig deep into yourself. So find out why you would want to show up. Figure out why you would want to succeed. Figure out why you would be willing to walk through 1,000 miles of glass or get dropped off in the middle of the desert. What would cause you to want to live? What would cause you to take that next step knowing the only water source that you have will only last you potentially a day if you drink too much of it? What would cause you to have some type of hope? What would cause you to think that you would actually win or do whatever it takes, even if you're crawling on the floor, hands and knees? What are those things? Who are those people? When you guys can figure that out, then realize it's probably because you've disconnected from that. And that's the reason why you started letting your foot off the gas. Probably the reason why you've been stuck because you forgot that you had to have that driving force connected to self in order to move. And because you haven't had it, you haven't been able to move. It's a simple exercise. It's not easy because now you have to actually look inside of yourself. You actually have to face your demons. You actually have to face the very things that you've been maybe afraid to face. Oi, oi. Okay. And that's you guys' exercise for today. All right. So I'm telling you, if you guys take the time to really do these exercises I've been giving you guys for the past 23 days, you'll start feeling the internal shifts. And those internal shifts are going to start manifesting in your external life. This is how the world works. Everything that's happening outside of you is based on all the changes you're making inside of you. That's this entire game. That's how sales works. That's how business works. That's how life development works. It's not anything out there, it's everything in here. All right. So, with that being said, since we got booted from some platforms, you guys can catch the recordings on YouTube. If you guys need help with any of this, you guys can shoot me a text right here, philbull.com/contact. All right. Crush the exercise, take it slow, give yourself 1 to 2 hours, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's training. Peace. Last 6 days. Last 6 days.